This is the breakdown. What? Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. What? It's the breakdown. I'm working on it. My singing voice is a little on the raspy side, so I'll spare you guys. Hey everybody, I'm Catherine, aka the High-Heeled Gamer, and today we have the one, the only, the creator of the GATOR GUARD, Victor Ortero. I probably said it wrong, even though I just asked you how to say your last name.
No, it's fine. Good
morning,
how are you doing,
Victor?
Good, I'm doing well, thank you.
So for those of you that don't know, and shame on you for not knowing, the GATOR GUARD protects your comics. Dun, dun, dun. And it's fashionable because these little buttons right here, they come in there's a limited amount of colors for now. But I chose black because it's my favorite color, and I chose this variant cover of the Hulk sitting in Loki's, and it is so great. So Victor, tell us, how did the GATOR GUARD come to be?
Good, thank you, Kat. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you guys showing an interest in my project. It's a project that has been going on for about 3 years now.
Oh, no.
We're a little late to the game, that's for sure. But we started it a few years ago. I've been working with my brother, who's in the ride or die on this project, and like our CAD guy, our web guy, and of course our artist that's worked on our original art for it. But it came to be because I did a lot of research. There were a lot of cases out there, a lot of slabs, but there was nothing that I really liked. And I wanted to put something together that I enjoyed, and because it's a great hobby for me, and then something I could share with other collectors out there.
Okay, so I've never had like a comic book guard. I've had frames for them and stuff like that, and obviously I've picked up comics that are guarded because I go to conventions. And this, once I got it, like this felt thicker than the regular. Is that safe to say that these are thicker than the regular?
Well, I mean, when the slabs came out, I think around 2000, I don't even know, 5 or 6 years ago when I first saw the CGC, when those slabs came out, it was a real game changer to the comic book industry and how people wanted to have their comic books, how they wanted to display it. And it's definitely a lot thicker. I feel like we use really good material for the project. I actually have both, if you don't mind me showing.
Oh no, please go ahead.
Of our GATOR GUARD, which, as you can see, I also use black screws. So it was one of my favorites. Plus, I think it matched it well.
Yeah, that one really goes good with the comic.
Our CGC of the same
comic.
It's a little bit bright. I mean, I don't know if you could tell.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, it's got good size. The thickness is about the same, but the weight is definitely a smidge heavier than what you would find for the CGCs, the PGX, or the CBCS. Of course, it's not graded, but I mean, it's a really good alternative.
Well, maybe that's why I thought it was thicker, because it is like, it's not, okay, so when we say weighted, it is not like, oh my God, this is ridiculous to pick up, but it does feel secure. I feel like I could throw this and no, I'm not going to throw it, but I mean, like, it feels like I could throw it and it would be pretty durable. What did you guys test it against? Is there some type of durability to it? Like, I love my comics.
We haven't tested it. I always thought about putting both together and putting some weight on both the GATOR GUARD and some others, and to see which one would crack first. I just don't know if I feel comfortable taking some of my comic books for that. But if somebody wants to test it out, please let us know and post it, because that would be really neat to see. But when we came up with the idea, we have a guy, Walter Belfour, who works for Smart Products, and we had talked to him about trying to put something together. We had a couple of designs prior to this that we did the 3D printing, we did the CAD, we looked at it, it didn't work for us. We went back to the drawing board. And one thing that I did show him was one of my basketball cards. I was a big collector of comic books back in the day and of basketball cards, Michael Jordan basketball card.
Oh, wow.
I have that in a screw case. And I was like, you know what? I really wanted to look something like this because that case is, for the size of it, is really good. And then trying to find someone that would develop it for the type of size and the plastic that we were going to use was difficult and challenging, but thankfully we did it. And let me tell you, like, this is so surreal because, again, we started this 3 years ago. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but I had already invested so much time and effort on it, so many meetings, that I was like, we got to get this out. So thankfully, we were able to do it. When we first started this, our original plan was to try to have it at some of the comic book conventions, but sadly, with everything going on right now, we had to look for other alternatives of trying to get the word out. So this is great.
So usually that's how projects work. Like, you never think like anything's coming out of it, but it's like, no, I have to do this because it's in my head, it's in my heart. And next thing you know, it's like, boom. So my producer, Jack, who's lurking in the trenches, sent me a text and he was like, dude, I've got a gift for you. And automatically I was scared. I was like, oh Lord, what is it? And he was like, trust me, what color do you like? And I'm like, what are my choices? And he was like, well, and he ran the list, which is like black, red, blue, I think green and pink as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, black. And then I get it. And he's like, did you get it? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it's a slab. And he was like, yes, but put your comic in it. And I did. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I really like this a lot. Okay, so truth be told, I'm easily impressed, but I get excited with things that I'm like overly impressed with. Mm-hmm. And the fact that my husband was like, I wish I would have gotten one, is like the icing on the cake, because he's not easily impressed. So the fact that he was jealous was a win for me.
That's cool. That's really good.
What made you come up with the screw colors? Like, was it a specific reason, or you just was like, you know what, let's add a splash of color to this?
When we were working with our team, I call them the Nash villains because most of us live in Nashville. When we were working with our team, we wanted to kind of get an idea of what to do. We were trying to find a way to keep them together. Our original plan was to try to use clips and try to clip it together, but then it would be really hard to remove because we wanted to make it removable. So for those individuals that, again, nothing against Pete, CGC and all those guys. For those guys, you put it together, you can't see it again. But we wanted something that you could pull out if you wanted to, get it signed, put it back in. And originally, like, the clips didn't work. We were trying to get screws, and then the screws that we were going to use were just going to be one-sided. And then Walter came up and said, you know what, why don't we try this? It's called the Chicago Bowl, which is, there's two ends to it, the male and the female, you put it together, and that's how that came out. And our colors originally were going to be silver and black. But when I started looking through the company's website, we found a bunch of other colors. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and grab a couple of these to see how they turn out. And we were also very impressed with the different colors. And again, black and silver are our main ones, but we're starting to see that most people want to have all the funky colors, putting them together. I've got one guy that sends me, he wants 4 or 5 different colors, and then he starts putting, some blacks on top and some reds on the bottom. So whatever matches his book, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, and that's what Jack said. He was like, try to find a comic that kind of matches and I was like, oh my God, that's flipping genius. You can color coordinate with your book. Like, that's really cool. I chose black because one, if you don't have purple, black is my other favorite color, but also because I knew right away that this is the comic that I wanted to put in there. So it kind of goes with the motif of the seriousness of Hulk, who is my favorite. So when you first got the final design, what went through your head?
Oh man, it seems like forever ago. It does. We got a final design. We looked at it. There were still some tweaks that needed to be made. Like as you could tell on the sides here, we wanted to be as tight as possible, just minimal elements trying to get in there. So we kept pushing it back out, and we just wanted to be perfect. But when we got the final design, I was like, I think we're done. I almost started crying. Like, I was so excited. And of course, that's one step. Once we get that, then we have to start, figuring out the financials and trying to get a a large inventory, which thankfully we have now. But yeah, it was really neat to get that. And then of course, you got those prototypes and you share it with other individuals trying to get their insight. So I would send it out, and I wouldn't hear back for 3 or 4 days until someone actually took a look at it to give me some critiques on it.
So when you first brought this idea up to your family members, did they think you were nuts, or they were like, oh my God, heck yeah, let's fucking do that shit?
Well, it's one of those things that I think they see my passion for in the comic book industry. Like, again, I'm not an artist. I don't have that kind of talent, but I did want it to. It's really cool to have like, a little piece of it, which is a small percentage, to say I did that. I brought it to their attention, and it was something that I was real passionate about. I had saved quite a bit of money on my own, and I just needed that little jump start. So my family was okay. My wife was a little hesitant on it, but I was able to work her to get my way. So
what did she say when she finally saw it? She was like, oh my God, dude.
I know. Yeah. I mean, when it's on paper, everything's great, but until you get it in hand, and even when you look at pictures, until you get it in hand and actually get to hold it and feel it, you're like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. So then she actually helps me kind of coordinate what colors to go with it and stuff like that.
Always the woman's touch. Always.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And it's true, because the pictures, okay, so I got this before I got on the website and before I saw it in picture, because like I said, Jack surprised me with it. And then he sent me the link once I got it. And I was like, you know what, this doesn't really, the pictures don't do it justice, because like I said, you gotta feel it. It does feel secure. It doesn't have like gaps or anything like that. It was easy to assemble. I say that because I'm a simpleton. I'm always like, somebody help me do this. But if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it was like super simple and super nice. And the screws are like so nice. I know my camera doesn't really do it all that great, but it's not a matted color. It's a nice shiny finish. I'm trying to get it so people can see it, but I'm sorry, and I'll try to take a picture to the best of my abilities so people can actually see how great it really looks. Did you ever think, or have you, or are you, that's the one, are you thinking about creating other colors as well, like maybe like a Christmas one, themed one, or a fall themed one? I
think we got a good set of colors right now. I mean, if somebody wants something in particular, just let us know, and we could try to find it. But we've got orange and gold, red, black, blue. I think that's about it. Oh, and silver. We have a matted silver, and the silver is really good. Like, if someone gets a signed, something signed. Let me see if I got one in here.
That would be cool. So if somebody like me who say loves purple in a weirdly amount of ways, and needed a purple one, that could possibly maybe happen, is what you're saying?
That could possibly happen.
I brought this thing all kinds of weird. I just realized, I'm like, oh God.
But you've got to send us the pictures so we can post them. So that would be really cool.
Definitely, because I'm glad I got it before, and I mean this in no disrespect. I'm glad I got it before I saw the pictures, because, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's cool, and I like the idea, and it seems good. But once you see it, and that's what I hate about pictures too. It's like sometimes it just doesn't do the product justice. And I'm here to tell you that look at the pictures, trust and believe. This is great quality work. Have you thought about maybe doing different varieties of the slab, like maybe ones that you can hang, ones with like an attachable frame that you can post it on? Have you thought of things like that?
There's stuff in the works. I know our CAD guys had some ideas for hanging. Right now there's already things out there that could hang that could be used for the other slabs. So I recommend those when someone asks me about it. This right now is for more like the modern books, like the late 80s to now. But using the same backing, what we're going to do is move, and I know you put it together, but the front is kind of a cavity. So, but using the same backing for the front, we're gonna change it up for your Silver Age comics and your Bronze Age. So for the older ones, so they'll still be the same size, except you have the bigger book. But that's down the road. Unfortunately, with everything going on right now, not being able to get to a Comic-Con, to be able to send this out, we just have everyone sadly is like on hold. So
100%. But I'm glad that there is more on the works, because like I said, this is great. And it would be cool to see different variations, like you said, the bigger books and things like that. So yes, I'm holding. So Jack just sent the message that I'm holding this like a baby, because
I know, that's a great book. It's a great book.
It's one of my prized possessions now. It's the first slab that I got, and it's a great one. So there's that. Like I said, I've held other ones in slabs at comics, and they don't feel this, and it's no disrespect to those other companies, it just doesn't feel as sturdy, as thick, as well sealed as this one. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass because you're here, like that's just I try not to do that. I try not to lie to my guests, but it does you know, it's, I can't stop posting about it. It's really good.
That's really cool. So we've got it out there. I know I sent some to which was super expensive for them, unfortunately, but I sent some to UK, United Kingdom, sent it to France, and they've sent pictures back of it on the wall. So I feel like, oh my God, that's mine.
That has to be such a great, proud moment. Like, you know, you hold yourself up like, I did that.
So that's cool.
So what exactly got you into comics? Were you like super young when you got into it?
No, I wasn't. I think I started collecting comics back in 93, 94. That's when I graduated. That's how old I am. That's when I graduated. Graduated high school and went to college. And I had a buddy of mine that was really into comic books. And I used to be into basketball cards. And you would take the basketball card, you would open it up, and hopefully you got the card that you wanted. But he started showing me like all these new comic books that came out at the time. Image. You know, those guys, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane, they started kind of doing their own thing, and they had these really cool books that were just shinier than the DCs and Marvel at the time. So I started kind of picking those up, and started picking up, you know, here and there, and really got into it. Unfortunately, there was nothing to display it at that time. You know, you had your top loader. I didn't feel very comfortable with those, but I would grab them, put them in the bag and board, seal it up, and put them in a box. And it was sad because they were really cool looking comics. So I stopped collecting for a while, and then about 5 or 6 years ago, when Dan Didio and Jim Lee started doing their New 52, I really got back into it. I was a huge fan of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo and Jonathan Glapion. Jonathan actually lives here in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so when I met them, I got a couple books signed, and that's when I went to my first Comic. I went to my first Comic-Con. So I think at the time, the main guy there was Kevin Eastman for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I saw his line was super long, and everyone would go there get their book signed, and I just bought like a little book just to get it signed, and then from there everyone went to another line to do the CGC, and I had no clue what CGC was, no clue. So, and this is also one of the reasons I got started it. So, so I was like, oh man, like it's pretty cool. So I kind of researched on it. I became a member of one of the grading companies. I went to my next Comic-Con, and at the time it was Glapion and Capullo. And I got him signed. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but the witness that was supposed to follow me to get it signed, you know, to see the witness in order to get the yellow signature series, he disappeared. So I ended up getting a CGC with a green instead of a yellow. I don't know if you know anything about these, but the yellow is supposed to be the signature series, and then the green is kind of like, you know, you got it signed, and it says 2 names written on cover in marker. I'm like, if I called Mark, I was like, guys, like, they're right there. Like they're 2 tables down. Like one of you guys told me, like, I don't know where he is, but he's apparently got sick. But they didn't want to say, I understand that. Like, you know, you got to do what you got to do to protect and to ensure that your books are legit. But I was like, I was right there, and I was wearing like, you know, Batman shirt. I was looking smooth. I had a haircut. I'm just kidding. But I was like, you know what? I really wanted it for the case. Like I don't really care, you know, if someone sees it signed or not. I mean, I know if I was going to buy something, of course I want it to be legit. So I would want it to be to tell me what it is. But for me, I thought that a case would be cool, and that's where GATOR GUARD also came from.
So I'm noticing the Spider-Man and the Venoms behind you. So is it safe to say that you're a huge Spider-Man and Venom fan?
No, you know, I got this. I got this at TJ Maxx for super cheap. So I was like, you know, let me put it up. So, and then the other two, I met Sam De La Rosa at one of the Comic-Con. Super nice guy. and he actually signed this one, and then I just bought two prints to put next to it. So it was in my son's room, but my wife was not happy with. I don't think she's a Venom fan, so I had to pull it out of there and put it up in this room. So
that's funny. So does your wife like comics as well, or she's like, no, that's your thing, you can keep it?
I think she loves me enough to just support it. So I mean, she'll watch all the movies and starts asking questions, and then she's like, I don't get it. Wait a minute, you told me the comic did this and the movie does this. Like, which one's right? I was like, I don't know.
That sounds about right with anyone, male or female, that doesn't like really follow comics and then just watches the movies, and you're like, that's not what happened. And then they turn to, wait, what did happen? That's awesome. So I'm glad there's other things in the works for this. I'm excited to see. Let people know where they can get their own Gator Guard so they could be cool like me.
Sounds good. Well, before I say that, if you don't mind, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Miss Solotero, my brother, my ride or die. Thank you so much. Matt Cloud, he's been working on our website. He's a very close. He's actually my best friend. He's been working on the website. He's done a great job. The two individuals that we hired that have become friends because of the amount of time that we spent on this, and we talk almost every day. Walter Balfour for Smart Products. Walden Wong is actually he's an artist for DC and Marvel, and he's actually worked on our original art. Really good guy out of San Francisco. And Doug Scholar, who has helped us out with the explaining to us how to get it patented. So we're right now in the patent pending, but we're moving our process forward. And then just to mention the Gator Guard itself, like where the name came from, I tell people that the gator, you think of a gator and you think about how they protect maybe like a castle, so for the moat, that's right, and they've been there forever, and that they're very durable, just like how we tried to display ours. But also, my brother and I went to the University of Florida, the Gators, so we try to give a shout out to the Gator Guard that way.
Nice.
But yeah, as far as where to find it, we're Gator Guard Comics is our website, GatorGuardComics.com. Gator Guard Comics is also our I forgot what it's called.
YouTube, Instagram.
Instagram. That's right. I'm new to Instagram, so yeah, Gator Guard Comics is our Instagram. We just got that set up like last week.
I knew if I ran down the list, I would hit the one.
And then of course, if anyone has any questions, hopefully everyone stays safe and we get through this, and hopefully I'll see individuals at Comic Cons, because I love talking about comics and talking about this case.
Yeah, that's exciting. So guys, please go to the website. Please check out Victor and his Nashvillians. Nashvillians. Sorry, right. Nashvillians and his crew. And do yourself a favor, get a Gator Guard. They're actually really well priced, and I say that because my husband's cheap and he puts me on a budget, and I'm gonna get to order 2 more with the rule that I have to give him one of the 2.
You send us a picture. We'd love to see what goes in there. So
get yourself a Gator Guard. Do yourself a favor and get it. It is so, I can't stop boasting about it. I really do like it. Like I said, it's become one of my prized possessions, along with certain figures that I have. I'm trying to get I'm gonna work real hard to get you guys a good picture of the buttons, because the buttons are great, and they're easy to put together, and it's so awesome. Victor, I appreciate you coming onto the show. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to little old me.
No, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I've seen some of your stuff, and it's definitely a great change from the reruns I've been watching right now. So we appreciate what you guys do.
I try to keep it different because I'm weird like that. But I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what else comes from the Gator Guard company. And as always, guys, you know the rules. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Go follow Victor. Well, you can follow Victor, but follow Gator Guard, because he created Gator Guard, and that's the best thing ever. You know where to find us. Issueswithshow.com, I think. I'm just kidding. I'm saying that so Jack can have a mini heart attack. You know where to find us. Issueswithshow.com. We're on Instagram. I am on Twitter. Don't at me though. And as always, we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Go get a Gator Guard.